In this video, we're going to go over calculus under differentiation. We need to understand that under differentiation, we follow the rule which says a we must multiply with the power which is represented by n, and then it must be multiplied with x, which is the variable to the power n, and then that power n must be reduced by a 1. Therefore, a it is the coefficient, n it is the power, x it is the variable, and the power must be reduced by 1. What do we mean? In the case where we have 2x to the power 3, which simply means that 2 must multiply with a 3. So we are going to say 2 multiplied by 3, it is a 6, multiplied by x, and x it is the variable, this x to the power 3, and then this 3 must be reduced by a 1, which simply means that we are going to have 6x to the power 3 minus 1, which is a 2, like that. Or if you feel like this is more shortcut, or maybe you didn't understand, what you do, you just say, you say 2 multiplied by 3. So a it is a 2, n it is a 3, and then multiplied by x to the power 3 minus a 1, like that. So 2 multiplied by 3, it is a 6, multiplied by x, and then 3 minus 1, it is a 2. So 6 multiplied by x squared, it will be 6x squared, like that. That is differentiation. Now, whatever we have done to 2x to the power 3, it must be done to each and every component in the equation. Now, one thing which you need to understand as well is that when you have 3x in this case, how can we differentiate this? Remember, we are following the rule a multiplied by n multiplied by x to the power n minus 1, which simply means that our a it is 3 multiplied by our n, it is the power. Now the power, it is a 1, which is the invisible one, so you have a 1 there, and then our x must be reduced by a 1, so which simply means that that power must be reduced by a 1, like that. And then you are going to have 3 multiplied by 1, just a 3 multiplied by, now x to the power 1 minus 1, it is a 0. Remember, any number or letter to the power 0, it is just a 1, so which simply means that x to the power 0, it is same as 1. So which simply means that here we are going to have a 1, like that. 1 multiplied by 1, it is a 3, which simply means that when you're having something like 3x, you just get a 3. When you're having something like 4x, you just get a 4. When you're having something like 20x, you just get a 20. Now, another explanation which I want you to understand is that when you have a 1, remember this 1, it is same as we have 1 x to the power 0. This is same as 1, like that. 1, it is equals to 1 multiplied by x to the power 0. Now this x 1 times x to the power 0, it is same as when we are differentiating our a, it is a 1, so you say 1 multiplied by our n, it is a 0, which is the power, so you write a 0, multiplied by our x, it is our n, I mean, it is 0, so you say 0 minus a 1, because the power must be reduced by 1. Now when you say 1 multiplied by 0, it is a 0 multiplied by, now we have x to the power 0 minus 1, that will be x to the power negative 1. Now remember, anything multiplied by 0, it becomes a 0. So 0 multiplied by x to the power negative 1, it will be just a 0. Now if this is too complex to you, you can just master by saying, if you have a constant number, whether it's a 2, a 20, 100, 528, for as long as it doesn't have an x, for as long as it's just constant the way it is, like that, it is equal to a 0. if you are differentiating. For as long as we are differentiating, this number becomes a 0. Now, I'm sure we are good to go. So the question is saying find the derivative of y equal to 2x to the power 3 minus 2x squared minus 3x plus a 1. Now when we say dy over dx, now with respect to x, for the fact that we have said dy over dx, which simply means that we are respecting x. Now remember, before I start differentiating, I have to write the question first. So the question is y equal to 2x to the power 3 minus 2x squared minus 3x plus a 1. Now, when you reach at this point, you say dy over dx equal to 2 multiplied by 3. 2 multiplied by 3 is going to give you 6x to the power 3 minus a 1, like that. And then you have negative 2 multiplied by 2, so it will be negative 4x to the power 2 minus a 1. And then when you have something like this, it doesn't have it just have an x, only has a power which is a 1, which is an invisible 1. You just get a 3, which simply means that you are going to have a 3 there. And then you have plus a 1, which simply means that you are going to have a 0 because it is a constant number, like that. Now when you simplify this, to be dy over dx equal to 6x to the power 2, 3 minus 1 is a 2, minus 4x to the power 2 minus 1 is just a 1 there, and then you have 1 minus a 3, which is a 3 there, plus a 0, so you just end there. And then this one, since it is invisible, therefore you don't need to show it, you can just end there. That is our answer. You can pause the video and then try part 2. So our part 2, we are having, they are saying differentiate y equal to 1 over 3x to the power 3 minus 5x squared minus 2x, like that. Remember, we are multiplying 1 over 3 multiplied by 3. So when we say 1 over 3 multiplied by 3, what are we getting? This is same as over 1, therefore this will be equal to 1 multiplied by 3, just a 3. 3 multiplied by 1 to be a 3, which is equals to 3 into 3, just a 1, like that. And then, which simply means that we are going to have dy over dx equal to, our y has become dy over dx equal to 1 over 3 multiplied by 3, it will be 1 over 3 multiplied by 3. This is going to give us a 1. So what you do, you just say you just say 1 over 3 multiplied by 3, it's just a 1 multiplied by x to the power 3 must be reduced by a 1. Negative 5 multiplied by 2, it will be negative 10x to the power 2 minus a 1. And then we have something like this, you just get the coefficient, which is negative 2. And then your dy over dx becomes 1 multiplied by x to be x to the power 3 minus 1 is just a 2, and then negative 10x to the power 2 minus 1 is just a 1, so you don't have to show it. And then you have negative 2, like that, and that becomes your answer for the second part. For the part for part 3, for the question number 3, you can just say, you can just pause the video and then you try it as well. It is very easy. So we are having y equal to 4x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 5x. Find dy over dx. So we just say dy over dx equal to 4 multiplied by 3, it is a 12. So write 12x to the power 3 minus a 1, and then negative 3 multiplied by 2, negative 3 multiplied by 2, it will be negative 6x to the power 2 minus a 1. And then when you have something like this, 5x, you just get a 5. So our dy over dx will be equal to 12x to the power 3 minus 1 is just a 2, and then minus 6x, 2 minus 1 is just a 1, so you don't have to show it, you can just leave it like that, and then you have plus a 5 there, and that is our dy over dx. For the next question, it's saying find the equation of the tangent to the curve y is equals to x squared minus 2x minus 3 at the point 3, 0. So when you have some equation in this form, which simply means that you have to use calculus in order for you to come up with the gradient. Now, in finding the equation, what you have to understand is that our equation will be y minus y1, the formula that we use, which will be m open bracket x minus x1, and then any equation must be in the form of y equal to mx plus a c. So it's either we can use this one or that one in order for us to come up with the equation which they're asking us to find, which is the equation of the tangent. But in this video, we are going to be using this one, y minus y1 equal to m open bracket x minus x1. Now, since we'll be using y minus y1 equal to m open bracket x minus x1, which simply means that we need to correct the data. How can we correct the data? We have been given the points, so we say the points we have 3, 0. We have been given the point, the coordinates are 3, 0. So this will be our x1 and that will be our y1. Now, one thing you have to understand that we need to come up with the m. What is m? M, it is the gradient. Now, we have to differentiate. When we differentiate, that's where we are going to come up with the m. So, when we say y equal to x squared minus 2x minus a 3, which simply means that we are going to say our dy over dx is equal to, here there is an invisible 1, so we're just going to say 1 multiplied by 2, it will be 2x to the power 2 minus a 1, like that. And then when you have something like this, remember, just get negative 2, and then you have a constant number without an x, you just say minus a 0, it becomes a 0. Therefore, our dy over dx is equal to 2x to the power 2 minus 1 is just a 1, so you don't have to show it, you can just leave it like that, and then you're going to have negative 2 minus a 0, so which simply means that it is nothing, so you just end it there. Now you have to understand that dy over dx is equals to m, which is the one we are looking for. Therefore, our m is equal to 2. Now we have to find the value. Where there's x, we need to put with the value of x, which is a 3. So you put a 3 there minus a 2. So our m is equal to 2 multiplied by 3, it is 6 minus 2. Therefore, our m is equal to 6 minus 2, it is a 4 there. Now when you reach at this point, you have to understand that this gradient that we have found, it is the gradient for that equation. And then one thing which you have to understand that which you need to master is the equation of the tangent. If they have said that the tangent, you are finding the equation of the tangent, which simply means that m1, which is this gradient for the equation, is equal to m2, which is the equation they're asking us to find. Now Where there's m1, you put a 4, which will be equal to m2. Therefore, our m2 will be equal to a 4, like that. And then when we come to y minus y1 equal to m open bracket x minus x1, now we have everything that we need. Our gradient we have, and then our points we have. So we say y minus y1, it is a 0, so you put a 0 there, equal to our m, it is a 4, so you write a 4 there. And then our x1, it is a 3, so minus a 3 there. And then from there, just do simple algebra so that it becomes in the form of y equal to mx plus a c. So in that case, it will be y minus 0, just a y, equal to 4 multiplied by x, it is 4x. 4 multiplied by negative 3, it will be negative 12, like that. That is our answer. As you can see, it is in the form of y equal to mx plus c. Our y, it is y, our 4x, so we have m as in our 4, and then x there, negative 12, which is a c there. That is our answer. Now